Hey, what's up? Dave with Brazos Barbell. So over the last few months, I've made a number of videos about how I really have not been super happy with my training, especially past the Arnold. There's been a lot of issues with my movement ability, my feeling of self-efficacy with my movement. And that's led to a lot of me trying to diagnose, trying to examine my own movement and see what things I could be doing better, just from a physical movement technique perspective, and then what I could be doing as far as my programming to try to get the most out of the way that I'm moving. So during that process, one of the things that I saw as a glaring error is that recently I've been doing a much worse job with what I think is one of the fundamental cornerstones of the squat. I have a number of videos on what I'm about to talk about, but kind of the pieces of this being the bracing, elbows forward, which will be the main part of the video today, the way that I'm setting up under the bar with my upper back, and that has been my main focus recently. So what I'm going to talk about in this video today is the importance of your elbows forward and really how to define that and what that means, and some of the things that you can do with your programming in order to get the most out of this cue and transition to doing this a little bit better. So when we're talking about the elbows forward, I think sometimes people can overdo the elbows forward cue. Most of the time what we're really trying to accomplish with the cue visually is just seeing that the elbows, or just the arm, stays in line with your trunk. So elbows forward maybe is better, we're just saying not back. Not back meaning we don't want the elbows to flare up. So why this is really important and why the low bar squat is stronger than the high bar squat for most people in the first place is because by moving the bar down on your back, we reduce the moment, as far as physics go, the amount of distance between where that bar is and where your hips are. The closer that the bar is going to be less force required from your back erectors to actually maintain your posture. So by moving that bar further down your back, we increase our leverage over the bar, and we can ultimately move more weight with the same amount of muscle. So if the bar moves up on your back, whether I set it low or high or whatever, if it moves up, or in this case we can say even forward, it's getting further away from where your hips are. Elbows flaring backwards is the quickest way to create that happening. You rocking forward, elbows moving forward, all of these things are going to be catastrophic errors in your squat. So if you feel like that's an area that you're missing, your back rounding over and missing in the middle right there with kind of no way to drive through, this is probably going to be a big video for you. For everybody else, one of the main things that I think pretty commonly is known with the squat is that trying to maintain your posture, keeping your legs more underneath you, those are things that will for sure increase your max squat strength, but they take a long time to accomplish because we have to build a lot of strength, build a lot of muscle. Those things certainly take time. So in this case, this is a technical thing that we can do very, very quickly to kind of cheat our way into having bigger squat numbers just by increasing the efficiency of the movement itself. So the whole goal with keeping your elbows forward is keeping the bar lower on your back. So this is true for both low bar and high bar. With high bar, we can probably, instead of saying lower on your back, we can just say stacked mid-foot. If your elbows flare back, that bar is going to translate forward, closer to your toes in this case, and that'll cause the exact same error. So this will apply to both the low bar and the high bar, and we'll use the high bar as a major piece of the puzzle here in order to accomplish this. So I'm probably not going to talk too much about wrist position and the brace because those are videos that I already have. I'll link those in the description below. But those are fundamental things to get to the place where we are right now and actually order to get those elbows under the bar in the first place. If you're overextending with your rib cage, if you're really gripping the bar too much with your upper back, we're never going to be able to give you the room with your upper body to get those elbows underneath. So anyway, the importance of this obviously just mechanically is highlighted by that bar not moving forward and then us losing the efficiency, the mechanical efficiency over the load itself. Now, what I've been doing to go after this and to hopefully refine my movement and improve my squat and get back to all my old numbers is including both a lighter low bar squat day with a little bit more reps and then a high bar squat day. The high bar squat day is probably going to be one of the more critical ones because what we're going to be trying to do on both of these squat days is de-emphasize what I'm feeling with my upper back, specifically with retraction. So the main area where I think people go wrong with the squat, especially when we're talking about the elbow cueing, the elbow posture, upper back stability, and those kind of things, is an overemphasis on feeling tight, feeling connected to the barbell when you're unracking it, and probably a de-emphasis on the position where it matters, being at the very bottom. So in this case, if I set up really tight, really retracted, trying to show my big chest, then I get to the bottom of the squat and I end up pushing the bar forward, it all falls apart. So in this case, what I'm trying to do is trying to set myself in a position to be able to maintain my posture at the very bottom of the squat where it matters most. So what that's going to mean is actually different cueing with your upper back. Instead of retracting your back, I cue people to have a wide back, meaning when I'm getting set, I'll get loose with my arms, pull my elbows underneath to create as much surface area across my back as I can. I'm not gonna really try to hold that position. I'm not trying to hold protraction with my shoulders, but I am trying to take myself out of this position where I'm restricting the ability of my back to move and my arms to move. So by setting the brace, like we see in the other video, giving myself a little bit more space with my arms, I'll be able to set myself in this position that'll maintain that bar position a little bit lower. How the high bar plays into this is the high bar will be a little bit more natural for you to practice a lot of these movements without the fear of the bar trying to roll off your back, fall off your back. And it'll give you a great chance to just think of your trunk as an independent unit. So when I'm programming high bar squats for people, I think the general idea is that it's a quad strengthening exercise. It absolutely can be. But if we're just going after quad strength, things that take your back out of the movement like a belt squat or leg press or hack squat, those are probably going to be better exercises to just target the quads. What the high bar squat really does a good job of is really works on the natural mechanics of squatting. So when I'm doing the high bar squat, what I'm trying to emphasize is trying to pretend that my arms don't really exist, trying to pretend that the bar really isn't even a part of the movement. And I'm trying to move in a way where my trunk is just a single unit, just descending straight between my legs without trying to act really dramatically above basically my nipples against the barbell. So if you see in these videos, the main point of emphasis is just getting my rib cage down, bracing, keeping my elbows forward, and by maintaining my posture as much as I can in that low bar squat and not allowing myself to move. And then the last piece would be cueing those elbows forward. I should be able to maintain a very consistent trunk position, and that bar really should not move at all. So in the videos, I think I work up heavy enough to actually have my body move a little bit. You'll see things like my knees slip back just a little bit, hips move, my elbows end up being forced forward to maintain that posture. And you see I can do a very good job of staying underneath the bar and getting back underneath it. So the high bar squat has been one of the more recent additions that has made my transition to getting back into this process much, much smoother. I use this one for many, many lifters. A lot of it is just the lower load exercise, just banging out good reps. But the high bar squat is probably one of the best exercises to learn how to brace effectively, to learn how to not overemphasize upper back positioning, and learn how to get those elbows forward and keep them forward, especially at the very bottom of the squat. So if you're having difficulty squatting, some of the things that I would recommend would be doing high bar squats, obviously. Pause squats, pin squats, things that draw your attention to the bottom of the lift are certainly going to give you more opportunities to work on cueing those elbows forward and maintaining your position at the bottom. On top of the elbows forward, you should obviously be fighting for position. You should be fighting to keep your knees forward, moving your shoulders first. The elbows forward cue on its own probably won't fix your squat, but it can definitely speed up the process as far as getting you into the positions that you need to be in, and especially if you have issues with the bar rolling forward, moving forward, rolling up your back. This could be one of the quickest things to get your squat moving a whole lot better. So if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.